You can't handle the truth.
Hello everybody, my name is Ifan Yoba and this is 360 Degree Mastery. This is the channel where we teach you personal effectiveness, self-mastery, and how to create, grow, and manage your wealth. Now, today's video is going to upset some people, but it's going to amuse others. I was contracted by a client of mine a few weeks ago to conduct a recruitment process and hire some employees for them. Now, they gave me the criteria. They gave me the requirements for each of the employees, for each class and each job function. So I set about doing my job. I put out the adverts in the right places. I put out feelers and I began to accept resumes and process. At the end of the day, I managed to narrow it down to 7 candidates who were qualified for the positions that we advertised. And I invited them for an interview, set up a venue, and I started to talk to them. Now, I'm not going to go into what happened during the interview or why I felt that none of them were qualified for the positions being advertised. But I'm going to share just my encounter with one of them. Now, this was a young man. We sat down. He seemed to have checked all the boxes academically. He seemed to, have the requisite degrees to do the job. So I grilled him on what I felt he knew, on his background. He answered the questions, and then I asked him, I said, why do you feel you want to go into this field, or what do you feel has prepared you, for life or a career in this field? And he told me, he said, this is not what I want to do, with my life. I'm just doing this. I just want to do this to pass the time. I said, oh, I had started running a line across his resume. When I waited, I said, oh, so what do you want to do with your life? What career do you want to do? He said he wants to be an influencer. I said, an influencer? I said, yes. He said he wants to create content on social media. He wants to develop a following and he wants to monetize his presence on social media and make a lot of money. I said, interesting. Okay, that's good. I didn't want to push it further. I had my own personal views on the matter. I was not about to share them with him. So I asked him, I said, do you have any questions for me? Let us end there. I was expecting him to ask about maybe the salary structure, or if there are any health benefits, or if there's going to be like a training allowance, is there going to be a passage or an upfront, something like that. Instead, this young man asks me, please, when is the closing time? I was surprised. I said, what do you mean the closing time? He said, yes, that he wants to do the closing time. I said, why do you want to do the closing time? He said, so that on the days where they play matches, or the days when they play football matches, he has to close early so that he can go and watch the match. I told this young man, I said, thank you, don't call us, we'll call you. As soon as he left, I took my pen and ran the line across the resume. To say I was disappointed would be putting it very, very mildly. This is what we have today. This is the way this generation of people, this is how they process information, and this is how they want to achieve success. This is how they want to be the best they can be. This is how they want to live their lives. I tell people, I say, look, it doesn't matter what is going on out there. What your concern is how you will add value to yourself. When people tell me they want to become influencers, that word is a very dangerous word, influencer, because it's very ambiguous in its meaning, it's very broad in its scope, and it really doesn't mean anything. It's not a guarantee for success. I keep telling people, content creation on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, it is not a career. You can't make a career out of that. It is a pastime. It is a hobby at best. Go and learn a skill, learn a trade. Learn a trade, master a trade, learn a skill, master a skill, and then you can monetize it. Something that you can do with your hands or something that you can do with your mind. There is an office building that we are working on, a very small office building, and the young man who came to do the tiling, just the tiling, he submitted a quote for us, and his workmanship, what he was going to collect to do the job, was over 500,000 naira. This is not the money for material, this is not the total amount, his own personal workmanship, and it's just to tile maybe 5-6 rooms and then a waiting room, and it was collecting over 500,000 naira. So the best thing you can be doing for yourself now is for you to learn a trade, something that you can do with your hands. It took me a lot of time, many years, to hone my writing skill to the point where I can make money out of it. But people will tell me, oh, but if you put videos on social media, they're always on YouTube. And I tell them, I said, before ever I put a video on YouTube, I mastered my craft. I had opened my business. I started working as a consultant. I was doing trainings ever before I put my first video on YouTube. I use my videos to push my business, and I use my business to push my social media presence, and they work together. But I don't rely on content creation to feed my family or to pay my bills. So please and please, if you're watching this video, you have children, you have words, tell them to go and learn a skill. Either you go and learn a trade, you can go and intern. They don't call it apprenticeship anymore. Go and intern, even if they're not paying you. Learn the skill, master the skill, so that you can use it, you can monetize it. Okay, if you cannot learn the skill, then go back to school, get additional qualifications, because the truth is this: the value you add to yourself is the value that the world is going to add to you. I just wanted to put that out there. My name is Ifan Yuban. This is 360 Degree Mastery. Please don't forget the READ initiative, which is actually in line with, what I was talking about today. That READ initiative, we need to get the younger generation engaged. We need to bring them back to discipline, to hard work, to study, to education. I will see you next week with more tips and more information on how you can live a better, happier, and more successful life with peace of mind. Namaste.